Hello, welcome to the Turret of Pleasure in the Enchanted Kingdom of Hermione, here in the Chateau Malleable, hard by Baker Creek, just down the road from Milne's Landing, just down the road from Souk, which is just down the road from Victoria, which is just across the pond from Vancouver, BC. In Canada, we're an enclave surrounded entirely by Canada, an independent kingdom, enchanted kingdom, led by the Empress Hermione, who's not here right now. I am the Lord Chamberlain, Zipgun, your host. I'm going to keep talking about thrift stores, because thrift stores are great, and I'm on a roll with them, so, you know. And if you're a thrift store person for music, now there's your thrift store person. I'm kind of your thrift store person. I find a lot of audio gear. This entire turret is outfitted with thrift store gear. So we have a 5.1 stereo here that probably cost $100 Canadian to put together. And it sounds great. It works really good. And I'm using a little DVD player to play CDs on, and I've got a PS3 to watch the Titanic sink with and whatnot. And then, but the thrift stores, thanks to COVID, I've actually had a chance to put CDs away, because normally there's just so many coming in, and the stuff you find, and it doesn't matter where the thrift store is. And today I want to talk about probably the coolest thrift store I've been in my life. I'm thinking it's up in the top 5 minimum, and this thrift store was in Malta. Ministry of Defense. False alarm. The Empress and I went to the island of Malta, the island nation of Malta, and we were very privileged and fortunate enough to spend a couple of nights in the walled city of Medina, the ancient city, the original capital before Valletta was built. It is completely surrounded by walls. There's still about 250 people actually live inside the city, the walls of the city, but mostly it's sort of tourist shops and restaurants, and there's a couple of interesting, there's a torture museum, which we didn't go to, and there's a proper museum, which is a little moth-eaten. But lo and behold, the big church, St. Paul's, I believe it is, there it is, this great big church, and there's a sort of a big square in front of the church with parking, and then you look and there's this little thing, little building right here. I'm going to zoom in on Google it, maybe. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how this works. Into Malta, down to Medina. Bam! We land with a thud. And there you are. Now, so there's St. Paul's, the big church. This was a thrift store for, oh God, what were they for again? It was a charity. The Empress would remember, but I cannot. What I remember about this thrift store was, it was one of those thrift stores. There's about 3 or 4 different types of thrift stores. The ones where everything is needed in order. You almost never find anything in those thrift stores. Then there's the ones where they're a little bit chaotic, but they're kind of trying. Most of those have the CDs in 2 separate places, nothing to do with each other. You must always ask. You'll be shocked how many times you go, oh yeah, there's more way over in the corner. And then there's ones like this one where it's like if you had the makings of a thrift store and then you threw a couple of fragmentation grenades into it. And this was that one, and it was 2 stories. It was multi-story, but you couldn't get to the 3rd story. So I guess that wasn't part of the store. And the 2nd floor had this forlorn, flybone, dank, musty, airless kind of feel to it. It was really not a lot of people gone through here. And I found in the corner, in the, furthest corner, low as you can get, there was a little box, had some CDs in it, and I found a CD. This cost me 50 European cents. And when I buy something that I don't know anything about, I got this sort of radar I have to engage. And it's like, what label is it on? Is there a producer I know? Do they do a song I've heard of? What is all this information feeds into my computer? And this one was pretty interesting. So I picked it out, and this was in a pile of what was essentially just rubbish, computer disks and crap. And the first thing I notice is it's on a Swiss label. Band called the Pull-Up Orchestra. Album titled Thanks to the Opera. And I look at it and I go, okay, there's a song called Hip Hop featuring somebody or other. Thanks to the Opera, Rewind, Bonjour. Then there's 4 remixes. Okay, remixes. So it's going to be something kind of interesting, like maybe a dance record or whatever. And I open it up and I look at it and it's all in German because. And then, here we go. And it's one of these hateful fold-out booklets. I can't stand these. And there's the picture of the band. Okay. And I'm like, okay. Remix, eh? Interesting. Remix. And sure enough, there's lyrics. They're all in German, which I approve of. If you're going to be a German rap band, rap in German. And there's the remixes. And I'm like, okay. Pull-Up Orchestra. Again, I had no idea what these guys sounded like. The picture made me think they were a marching band or one of those sort of European street bands. There's a snare trommel, a bass trommel, a percussionist, so that's 3 percussionists, tuba, poussin, which is trombone, tenor saxophone, trumpet, somebody named Samoa with an exclamation point is credited with rap. Valerie Mertgen is Gesang. So, okay, and they really are, as it turns out, a hip-hop band. And they actually do rap, and yet it's all very Swiss, which is actually kind of cool, because I like that. They rap in German, which is cool. I think they should. And the marching band thing actually functions as a hip-hop loop machine. So it's pretty interesting. I would say check them out. I'm not going to play any music, because I don't want to violate anybody's copyright. But the Pull-Up Orchestra. Pull-Up Orchestra. Thanks to the Opera. They made about 4 albums. And, you know, this is 2009. I think this was their 3rd or 4th. It's not that old. Anyway, thanks for listening. Subscribe. And we're going to try and turn this into my new job. Telling you about good stuff and where it came from. Take care.